The Banking Scene Directors Cut goes behind the scenes, sharing stories and insights to help you build the bank of tomorrow.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Emmanuel Legras. We've been connected for quite some time. You are currently the CEO of Nickel Belgium, but I also remember the days when you were the CEO of MicroStart, another very exciting venture, if you ask me. It's very stimulating the local economy a lot through microloans. Nickel, slightly different business, mainly active in the payment space and making sure that everyone can get access to an account and the required payment means, however possible, both digital and in person. How is Nickel doing in Belgium at the moment?
Thank you, Eric, and thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to be here today with you. Well, we are doing great. It's been more than 3 years now since we launched our activity in Belgium. And since 2022, we have grown quite fast, let's say. First, expanding our distribution network with our point of sales to be as accessible as possible for almost everyone across the country. So it was the main...
Perhaps for the people who don't know Nickel,
Yeah.
what makes you quite unique? You used to be a French startup, currently quite a big, maybe outgrown the scale-up phase already. Yet there's still the entrepreneurial spirit, of course. But what makes you unique as a neobank is that your focus is human contact, right?
Exactly. We are definitely human-centric, and it's very important for us. So we have a very specific distribution model within the banking industry because we are working with mostly independent point of sale, distributing nickel and allowing customers to perform daily banking transactions. That means customers can directly open an account within a store and can also manage their account and their cash management because they can withdraw money, they can deposit money, and they can also maybe replace a card which was stolen, for instance, or lost. So this specific distribution network make us a very unique fintech, let's say, in this environment, because we are, I think, the only one working with this independent store and shops all across the country. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely in Belgium. I think there are a few examples of neobanks that are now starting to test whether or not they should also have some physical point of contact, but it's never, I think, the primary channel. In that respect, Nickel is very unique. And I think a very good example, given the millions of customers that you have across France, Belgium, Spain, maybe Portugal already as well.
Yeah, Spain, Portugal, and the main market, of course, the first one, Belgium and Germany as well. And now we have more. We have almost 5 million customers across Europe, and we are working with 12,000 points of sale.
Yeah.
In Europe.
That brings me to my next question. There was a recent announcement that you will be working a massive partnership, if you ask me, that in Belgium you will be working with bpost, the national postal company, to expand your presence in every post office. It feels a bit like my time at People's Bank again, because I remember it may well have been to 10 years ago that we had a similar discussion as well. So I know that it's been part of a dialogue for quite some time. What strategic gap does this partnership address in Belgium today?
Yeah, first, you're right. It's a very important partnership for us, and to let you know, it's the first time that Nickel is working with a postal network. So we are very proud of that. And of course, this partnership with bpost is a fundamental move, let's say, to address two critical gaps in the Belgian market. First, it's regarding accessibility and financial inclusion, because while banking is increasingly digital now, a significant portion of the population still need to have a face-to-face contact with people, with particularly those who are underbanked, older people, for instance, or people who prefer cash, for example.
Yeah, and that's a gap that
it still relies on the physical proximity.
That's a gap that in the past People's Bank used to fill. It's now being taken over by BNP Paribas Fortis, part of the bigger BNP Paribas group, of which Nickel is also part. I guess it's no coincidence that right now, like the only two financial institutions that bpost is currently serving is BNP Paribas Fortis. and it's you.
Yeah, but it makes sense for us, because
Yeah,
first
no, I think so too.
With bpost, we are sharing a common DNA, focus on proximity and accessibility. And with BNP Paribas Fortis, our big sister, let's say, we are definitely complementary, because BNP
Yeah,
Paribas
yeah.
Fortis, through the bpost network, allow customers to access a complete banking offer services for maybe more long-term project, let's say, with mortgage, with credit, consumption credit, with insurances, etc. While Nickel will focus more on simple access to payment services with a simple payment account you can open directly now through in all the bpost agencies. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense, especially and that I think was part of the communication as well, that People's Bank, bpost, decided to close down its prepaid card business. Another very familiar project, as I was part of the team that set up the go-to-market back in the beginning. So a lot of links that with my history here. But the prepaid card of bpost, one of the go-to-market strategies was also to bet on that financial inclusion and make sure that you can, through the proximity of bpost, provide a payment means that is easy to use, that doesn't need much bigger banking offer, etc. In that sense, I think it was very similar to what Nickel's providing today, and maybe Nickel probably at a better price rate than what a prepaid card would offer.
It was part of the agreement and discussion we had, with bpost, because it was quite natural, to think about this partnership. And since the very first day, it was logical that maybe Nickel could replace bpaid within the bpost agencies, because we are more or less the same users of service, let's say,
Yeah.
but Nickel
Yeah.
is offering a real IBAN for customers. So maybe it's more relevant today for them to access to a Nickel account instead of a bpaid account. So that's why it was natural, to negotiate in the distribution agreement to also think about replacing bpaid, the prepaid card.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Well, throughout the conversation, we heard a couple of times, it's been in the air for some time, but what made now the right moment to formalize it and go public with this partnership?
Yeah, you're right. It took time, but it's normal with such a partnership and project. First we needed to explore what kind of partnership was possible for both institutions. And what could work, for us, and most importantly for the customers. So we quickly saw that firstly the partnership sounds logical, like I said, because we are sharing this same mission with bpost. But we also spent several months, negotiating the partnership and its contractual agreement. So it was also an important phase of the project. And
Quite a challenging
afterwards,
one as
of
well, I
course,
bet.
we had to frame the project, to define the value proposition as well with them, and to design our processes. So we consciously took the necessary time to prepare the entire setup and to align our views on strategy and communication and ensure operational readiness, let's say. So the focus was on being fully prepared to offer the best quality of service as of the first day. So that's why we took this time. So it took almost 18 months.
Yeah. Financial inclusion, we heard it already, is central to Nickel's mission. Linking that back to what we're currently discussing, which customer segments you think will benefit most from having your service available in every post office? Is that just the usual suspects like the elderly, etc., that need that access? Or are we more looking at maybe the migrants or someone else, people that need regular contact with postal officer for I don't know which service? How do you map that with your mission at Nickel?
Well, basically, Nickel targets everyone, wanting a simple account. Of course, we have our main targets for financial inclusion. So people needing really a very quick access, let's say, to payment services, like people coming in Belgium for the first time, like foreign students, for instance, like people with some troubles with their banks as well. So we are targeting these people. And it's true that with bpost, we are sharing this mission of financial inclusion. Therefore, basically, a large audience will benefit from from our services within the bpost network. But we are also targeting people just wanting a secondary account, because we assume that Nickel could also be a product for mainly not daily usage, but maybe for a more specific use like traveling, like online purchasing, for instance. So we
Yeah,
assume that it's important also for us to be clear on that. That's why it's also an asset to be well positioned in front of BNP Paribas Fortis offers
yeah,
within the bpost network, So, and we
absolutely.
are definitely complementary, yeah. But basically, everyone can access to Nickel through the bpost network now, and the independent point of sale as well.
Yeah.
But we will focus more and more on our financial inclusion mission. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think you touched upon an interesting segment there, e-commerce, because these days most of the contact with consumers in a B post office is because they need to get a package, because they want to send a package, things like that. So I could imagine that for people that wish to have a separate bucket for online purchases, but do not want a separate account, as is most banks in Belgium, they don't have these bucket principles. Having a Nickel account specifically for those e-commerce activities could be a very interesting additional use case to promote in B post offices.
Yeah, definitely, you're right. Because with Nickel as a payment account, there is no overdraft, so the risk is very limited in terms of phishing or fraud. And we are as a subsidiary of the BNP Paribas group as well, so we are offering very high standards in terms of anti-money laundering, in terms of fraud frightening, in terms of phishing, etc. So it's important as well for the customers to secure their money and all their transactions, especially on e-commerce. And so you're right. Basically, at the very beginning, but you know that much more than me, but BPaid was created as a prepaid card specifically for e-commerce, and also to
Yeah.
support the e-commerce development. And now Nickel could replace it very well because we are more or less the same securitization, let's say. So yeah, definitely.
Very interesting. You already shared that it took about 8 months, I believe, of negotiation. Now, a lot of that has to do with the commercials, but I can imagine that there's also a lot of operational alignment required, and that doesn't go easy because in postal offices, these people have their own commercial priorities. They have BNP Paribas Fortis clients that need to be served. Then there comes Nickel. What were the key factors that enable both teams to deliver this at scale? Because the scale is enormous.
Yeah. Uh, First, throughout the year 2025, this project was very exciting and intense, of course, but very exciting for both teams, from BPO's perspective and from Nickel as well. So the teams were really committed. So it was the first key factor that the teams believed in the project. So it was
Mhm.
the first step. And then we with bpost as well, we could leverage their expertise, the expertise of their team in terms of financial services. As one of the most important public institution, bpost has a significant experience in banking and payments with the former bpost bank, for instance, etc., and now with BNP Paribas Fortis as well. So it was a true asset also for the project for us.
Yeah.
And the successful launch and the ability to deliver, this partnership at scale, were enabled by 2, 3 key elements. First, this shared mission and the ambition from the teams, and then the teams also spent several months, working in close collaboration to define all the functional and operating framework. So it was the first step. It was very important. Included the meticulous design, of customer-facing processes,
Yeah.
workflows to ensure consistency, simplicity, and speed of operation and service across bpost entire network. Given the scale of bpost network and the number of agencies have and the existing infrastructure as well, a core factor was processing all the needed IT developments as well. So it was very important to be able to have a seamless integration of Nickel's platforms to bpost systems as well, and it was a major undertaking, let's say, that was crucial for enabling account opening, deposit, and withdrawals without any friction from the first day.
Yeah. In that context, 8 months isn't that long, actually. If you see what you've
Not
been
that long. Yeah,
delivering.
it's quite a
Yeah.
record for Nickel, definitely, because we took 18 months in total, including the negotiation phase, but the project phase itself, was 8 months. Very,
Okay. Yeah.
very
Yeah.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the market, the banking market, is working hard to reduce cash infrastructure. Nickel, in a way, is going the other way. Of course, you're not having your own ATMs, but you're expanding the physical network. How do you see Nickel's positioning in the evolving banking and payments landscape?
Yeah, it's true. While the banking industry is reducing its footprint, you know that we moved from 7,500 bank agencies to 3,000 now during the last 14 years. Indeed, we are moving the other way because now we became the first distribution network of payment services and access to cash in Belgium. So it's a big move and big step for us. So it's important. But with our bpost and independent POS network, we are providing, let's say, a robust, human-centric infrastructure for all daily banking operations for our customers, for deposit, for withdrawals, or for simple account management.
And who would have thought it became a real USP to have a physical network?
Exactly. And right where people, are already conducting other necessary activities, within a bpost agency or within the press shops as well. So we are, let's say, positioned, let's say. But in our view, we see ourselves in the evolving payments landscape as accessible physical companion to digital banking. So for us, it's important. It will be key in the future for Nickel.
How do you see, and that's my last question, how do you see your vision, like what's your vision for Nickel's role in Belgium over the next 3 to 5 years? I remember having that conversation with Thomas Courtois, who was the CEO of the group, I believe. I already asked, like, lending, is it going to be part of it? Maybe investments, things like that. He never was very open about it. So I'm going to ask you the question again. Will it remain a pure payments platform? And how will the customer contact evolve in the coming 5 years, and maybe also the reach of Nickel? I don't know.
Yeah. First, with this very transformative milestone, at least for next year, we will continue to acquire more and more customers and to accelerate our customer acquisition. And I definitely have this objective to become to reach financial inclusion leadership, in Belgium. So it's our core mission, but we want to stick on it. It's very important for us. And we will accelerate definitely thanks to the footprint we have now with 1,160 points of sale distributing nickel in Belgium. So
Enormous.
it's enormous. So we are accessible to everyone in Belgium, and we want to remain universally accessible to everyone. So it's the first thing. Also, the banking industry with all the neobanks, like we named them, is becoming more and more digital. So we will continue to keep this human-centric strategy and to provide face-to-face services to our customers. And then, indeed, we will also work on diversification. Now, we want to provide more simple...
Diversification of products, you mean?
In terms of product, definitely, because we also want to give access, a simple access to everyone, to other kind of financial products like savings, like insurance, for instance. So we are launching some pilots and some first initiatives in France, historic market so far. But in a few years, of course, this product will be also accessible to the other countries where Nickel operates. But also considering our position now within the bpost network alongside BNP Paribas Fortis, I have also the objective, to have more and more mutualization between the three companies, and maybe also to try to ease access to facilitate the accessibility for the customers, also to other products from BNP Paribas Fortis, for instance, and to have a kind of seamless process, maybe in-app, or let's say we'll see what we can develop with them, but to maybe to not diversify too much in Belgium, but more to rely and to leverage more the BNP Paribas Fortis products for the customers.
Sounds very exciting. And I look forward to hear more about it in the future.
Yeah, good.
Emmanuel, thank you very much for joining us. And
Thank you, Rick.
I'm sure that we hear or see each other very soon as one of our valuable
For
members
sure.
of the banking scene. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.